Tolls may be going up again at 7 bridges in the Bay Area. We'll tell you more ahead.
And the Bay Area experiences a day without immigrants. We'll tell you how it's affecting local businesses coming up on State of Events.
Welcome to State of Events. I'm Abene Clayton.
And I'm Anna Marie Terea. Let's get to our top story.
Businesses around the Bay Area shut down, showing their support for a day without immigrants. State of Events' Michaela Walker joins us in the studio with more on the impact of the immigration protests.
That's right, Abene. The Day Without Immigrants was a mass boycott of work in the protest of the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. Let's take a look at the consequences the protest had on the folks that chose to participate.
Closed signs were hanging in windows that supported a day without immigrants last Thursday. The walkout of work was in direct protest of President Donald Trump and his focus in increasing deportation and the building of a wall on Mexico's borders. Many protesters were walking with signs that all showed support in how critical immigrants are in the United States. There is no official number of the people that participated, but large amounts of people gathered across the United States to protest. There's an official number of the people that participated, but it was a protest seen and heard throughout the states. Even at SF State, workers at the Gold Coast and Cesar Chavez did not show up to work in support. There were many consequences to the boycott. 12 people in Denver lost their jobs as they did not call or come into work. They were not the only ones, as over 100 people were reported to have lost their jobs. Many Twitter users tweeted against businesses for firing people who took part in the protest.
The protesters are not done yet. There's another Day Without Immigrants scheduled for May. And the Day Without Women is happening on March 8th, which is also International Women's Day. Anna and Abene, back to you.
A Day Without Immigrants prompted closures at many local restaurants and stores. In Half Moon Bay, almost all the shops were closed. Reporter Chloe Ortega has the story.
Half Moon Bay, a coastal town south of San Francisco. According to Bay Area Census, 16% of the population are immigrants. But on a protest called A Day Without Immigrants, it felt like more.
The whole community really pulled together. There wasn't many restaurants, if any, open in Half Moon Bay at all. I don't know about other neighboring cities, but overall Half Moon Bay was pretty much shut down.
Nate Ray is the manager for the award-winning restaurant Half Moon Bay Brewing Company. He tells us why the restaurant decided to close shop during the boycott.
Well, we decided to basically support our team. A majority of our team are immigrants, and they were all not wanting to come to work, so we decided to close up to support them. It's not really a political statement at all, just more support our team and what their wants and wishes were.
The restaurant received different responses from Facebook on their announcement to close shop.
About 15% of the people, and this is all like social media, we got some emails and stuff like that, were upset with our decision, saying we're taking a political stance, and it's not what we were doing at all. We were just supporting our team the entire time. But a majority of the feedback we received was incredibly positive.
At least a dozen other local restaurants and shops closed in Half Moon Bay to demonstrate what a day without immigrants looks like.
In the Half Moon Bay Brewing Company, it doesn't seem like business has slowed down. From Half Moon Bay, I'm Chloe Ortega, State of Events.
6 Southern California high school staffers are suspended for controversial Facebook comments. The posts were about a Day Without Immigrants protests and students skipping school in solidarity, as the high school in Jurispa near LA is 80% Latino. 5 teachers and a guidance counselor mocked the students, saying there would be fewer troublemakers and a clean cafeteria. A walkout was held at Rubidoux High School when the post went viral. One of the teachers has since apologized for his, quote, harsh tone and hurtful structure of his post. When world news breaks out, State of Events reporter Karen Cordero breaks in to bring you the latest that's happening around the globe.
She's here to fill us in on international news. Karen?
Thank you, ladies. It's been a roller coaster week around the globe. Let's take a look. A talking toy doll in Germany is banned after a federal network agency classified it as an espionage device. The doll, known as Kayla, uses internet connection to interact with children. But a German watchdog says its smart technology could be hacked, posing a security risk for children and allowing personal data to be revealed. The agency is now asking parents to destroy the talking toy and has requested all German toy stores to remove the dolls from its shelves. A bomb explosion in Colombia's capital, Bogota, leaves dozens of people injured and a policeman dead. The explosion happened around 10 a.m. this morning near a bull ring as officers prepared to hold a march against bullfights. Colombian authorities say it is still unclear whether the explosion had anything to do with the protests. And after illegally crossing the Canadian border through dangerous and freezing conditions, 22 people have been detained by Canadian officers overnight. Police officers say Emerson, a small town in Canada, has become the hotspot for asylum seekers to live in since the election of President Trump. Authorities say the 22 people who attempted to cross will be processed in accordance with the Canadian law.
That is all for World News today, but make sure to tune in next week for another trip around the globe. Abene and Anna, back to you.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, sports reporter Justin McCarthy will join us at the desk where he'll show you how Warriors sharpshooter Klay Thompson did in New Orleans over the weekend.
And bridge tolls could go up again. We'll tell you how much lighter your wallet may be when we return to State of Events.
Working with Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco, I didn't just build a child's room. I built a space for a child's creativity to run wild.
My contribution to Habitat for Humanity funded not only a house, but a place where memories can be made.
Because of Habitat for Humanity, I moved into a house and my family is making it a home.
Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco, building homes and hope in Marin, San Francisco, and the Peninsula.
Guess what? What? My mom just finished enrolling me in school and I just can't wait to start. My dad just took me shopping to buy everything I need for school. My mom says I'm going to learn a whole bunch of new exciting things. What about you? I don't know. My mom hasn't filled out the application yet.
You have the tools, you have the power. You can help your child by completing the enrollment application on time today.
In your lives, you make investments. Investments to learn. Investments for health. Investments with others. Investments to grow. Come grow with the Y.
Yet another bridge toll price hike. Words Bay Area bridge drivers don't want to hear. This could be a reality if the Metropolitan Transportation Commission and other transit agencies decide they need more funding. State of Events reporter Uilani Gray is live to tell us more.
If you're starting to feel like you're paying enough in transit, you're not alone. The Bay Area transit agencies, they want more, and they're calling it Regional Measure 3. This is a fitting name for the measure because they're trying to get a toll hike of up to $3.
The MTC hopes to get a toll increase on 7 Bay Area bridges. If approved, it would hike tolls from its current $5 to increments up to $8 per crossing. A driver who commutes from Vallejo to San Francisco shares his thoughts.
You go from a $5 toll to an $8 toll, that would have a huge impact on my life because it's already, super expensive, so that's ridiculous.
For drivers who cross the bridge every day, that's a $720 annual increase. Some drivers may end up adjusting their commute by taking BART or carpooling. Others may have to bite the bullet and just pay the toll.
I need to get to San Francisco and I need to get home to Vallejo, so I'm just stuck. I'd have to pay it.
This toll hike can pass with just a simple majority of voters in 9 Bay Area counties. Their research shows that $1 could raise $127 million for transit projects. $3 would raise $381 million. The MTC says their goal is to boost revenue to fund projects like the Nevada Narrows, San Rafael Bridge Connector to 101, and more updated BART trains. The idea is still in its very early stages, but they hope to get it on the ballot by 2018.
The first increase happened in 2010. The San Francisco Examiners recorded that the toll went through because people didn't go out and vote. So if you're feeling like you don't want this to happen or you don't want to see this, you have to get out and vote. In San Francisco, Uilani Gray, State of Events.
And in other fee increase news, residents on Lombard Street may rejoice, but tourists might complain. San Francisco is looking to cash in on driving down the famous street. Chloe Ortega is live in North Beach with the details.
A new twist is happening at Lombard Street. The city is planning to charge drivers driving down the street by adding a toll system in hopes that it reduces some of the tourist traffic.
2 million visitors a year, more double what Muir Woods gets. We have zero infrastructure in place.
Supervisor Mark Farrell is studying ways to reduce traffic at Lombard. He's looking to add track toll readers and cameras in existing light poles. Reservations will also be a requirement, and if you don't have one, you could be billed a higher amount.
We are going to use those fees to increase police presence in the area, increase the ambassadors, and increasing the MTA officers that will actually ticket people.
Some tourists are okay with paying a fee, others aren't.
Lots of opportunities, so maybe probably I would. It depends how much, no more than $10.
Yeah, San Francisco is too expensive for tourists.
It will take about 2 years to implement the new charge. If you don't want to pay, you can head over to Vermont Street, which is actually more crooked than Lombard. From San Francisco, I'm Chloe Ortega, State of Events. Back to you in the studio.
Muni riders can expect delays beginning in April. The San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency posted an update on February 7th that the Twin Peaks Tunnel project will break ground this spring. The construction shuts down the L, M, and K lines and affects over 80,000 riders. The closure is expected to last from 11 to 15 days. The SFMTA plans to run shuttles during the construction, but will require riders to make transfers or use BART. The Twin Peaks Tunnel project is expected to be completed in spring 2018.
Here on the SF State campus, students are having mixed reactions to the newly installed gender-neutral bathrooms. State of Events reporter Dwayne Hibbert finds out what the Gator community thinks about the restrooms and how they can be improved.
SF State students express themselves in many ways through their identity. They seek representation, especially from their institution. There are gender-neutral facilities located all over campus.
I think having the gender-neutral bathrooms is wonderful, and even the fact that they have multiple, I think is really, really great.
For some, this is a victory. To others, it's a reminder that more work needs to be done.
The whole point of being gender-neutral is that people can go in and out, and being one stall is really hard for trans, non-binary, and transgender people to actually go use these facilities. As someone who identifies gender non-conforming, I don't really use these facilities. Like, they're always in use.
This is the size of most of the gender-neutral bathrooms here on campus. Non-binary students use these facilities, but so does everybody else. So it's no surprise, this restroom exceeds capacity. We are fortunate enough to have these restrooms here on campus, but there's always room for improvement. There are postings on campus and online showing where you can find gender-inclusive facilities. In San Francisco, Dwayne Hibbert, State of Events.
When we return on State of Events, the 89th Academy Awards are this Sunday. Find out if your favorite movie got nominated.
And Warrior players are on full display at an all-star weekend in New Orleans. We'll show you how they did after the break.
I saw a sleeping bear, a grizzly bear. It was sleeping behind a tree, and I saw a real coyote. Even though the planet's spinning, you can't see it spinning. Recycle things like boxes or something. And water helps the environment so everything can live. No water fish could not live. I've been in the ocean. Or the beach, when I go to my grandma and grandpa's house, I can walk nothing would get water in our whole land. Yeah. Throwing things away and using them again. The scraps we can make up. I like the planet. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now.
I use reusable bags because it can carry a lot of stuff.
So you can carry twice as much without even needing to double up on a paper bag.
I can accessorize with my outfits, which is important.
To save the earth.
We unpack the groceries, we put the bags by the front door and then take them to the car the next time we go to the car.
They have their own personality and they add to your own.
Though a reusable bag means different things to different people, it is always a way to express yourself.
I can reuse it, so that's why I use it.
Make it a habit and grab it. A message from the Bay Area Recycling Outreach Coalition.
Personal growth, professional exposure. Child Family Health International. Let the world change you. For more info, visit cfhi.org.
This past weekend's All-Star Game took place in New Orleans, and 4 Golden State Warriors teams represented for the West Coast.
So Justin, tell us more about All-Star Weekend.
Well, NBA All-Star Weekend, it was a big one as the NBA All-Stars aligned in New Orleans this weekend with the spotlight on the fractured relationship of the Warriors' Kevin Durant and OKC's Russell Westbrook. It was actually New Orleans' hometown star Anthony Davis that shined the brightest. On Sunday night, basketball fans in New Orleans heard the faint sounds of Kumbaya.
Russell Westbrook from Kevin Durant.
But according to Westbrook, it wasn't coming from him.
Do a lob, that's all that happened. You just do a lob. It's basketball. Yeah. That's it.
But there were more than 2 players on the court as Pelicans' Anthony Davis raised some eyebrows with his record-breaking performance, scoring 52 points on his way to the MVP, topping Wilt Chamberlain's 55-year record. While fans of strong dunks had Giannis Antetokounmpo, who had 30 points and more dunks than his name has consonants, including this dunk over Curry's strong defense. All 4 Warriors played together in the third quarter as promised by head coach Steve Kerr. Now Durant put up a triple-double, and fellow starter Curry put up 21 points, helping the West's winning effort in a 192-182 victory. And now, the NBA can shift its focus to the playoffs. Now, Splash brother Klay Thompson, well, he might have forgot to pay his water bill this weekend as he was bounced in the first round of the three-point contest. But after a strong all-star performance, the Warriors look to keep their NBA's best record on top in the second half as they look to secure home court advantage throughout the playoffs. And that's pretty much it for the NBA this week, as they're going to try to get back into the second half, and hopefully the Warriors can keep up with that NBA best record.
Thanks, Justin, for that update.
All right, that was great. Thanks. And to find out when this rainy season will be over after the major storm this weekend, we're going to throw it over to Katie Welge, who joins us in studio to tell us about the forecast for the rest of the week. Katie?
Thankfully, we have a bit of good news coming your way after this morning's rains. We get a chance to have a little bit of a break from the current downpour, which is going to continue at least until the weekend. But this afternoon, things will begin to clear up, which will set the stage for a more continuous break from the umbrellas Wednesday through Friday. But the rain will not be gone for long because we're looking at another wet one with some colder rain beginning on Saturday, continuing to Sunday with temperatures remaining in the mid to high 50s. But for now, the roadways and bridges are still under advisory with some high winds until the drain and dry looking ahead. I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Katie. Coming up, a Bay Area native hits New York Fashion Week.
And we'll take a sneak peek at the 5th annual Tech Fashion Week starting this Saturday when we return to State of Events.
Sustainability?
Yeah, sustainability.
Well, it's composting.
Cool.
It's conserving water.
What about clothes?
You can reuse clothes too. Are you ready for school?
Almost done.
When it's time to choose healthcare for your child, you want the best. When it's time for an important medical decision, you want a professional you can trust. At Valencia Health Services, your time is well spent. We provide professional quality healthcare. Valencia Health Services, dedicating quality time to every child, every visit. Committed to professional healthcare because your child's health is our first priority. Valencia Health Services, quality time because we care.
The 2017 award season is proving to be like none other.
With the Oscars right around the corner, Majestic Bellamy tells us what to expect at the Oscars airing this Sunday.
The 89th Academy Awards is coming up quick and celebrities are preparing for the grand night. Jimmy Kimmel will be hosting the award show for the first time. He quotes that he hopes to make the award show terrible and sweet. The most nominated film this year is La La Land, up for 14 Oscars. The Hollywood love story ties with the all-time record holders All About Eve and Titanic for the most nominations. Moonlight is another tough contender this year, nominated in 8 categories. Those up for a big win are Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone for La La Land, Viola Davis and Denzel Washington for Fences, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, and many more. San Francisco State University even has one of their own up for an Oscar grab this year. BECA alumni Christopher Scarabosio is up for nomination for sound mixing on the film Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. So many great films and artists are nominated this year. Stay tuned to State of Events as we cover the rest of the award season.
New York Fashion Week is always about the glam of the fashion world, and rarely do we get to go in depth with San Francisco designers. Vanessa Ariolo has all the details about the Bay Area native who is leaving her staple piece on the runway.
New York Fashion Week Spring 2017 has us all craving for some sun. With the beautiful romantic pieces, we have San Francisco born and raised designer Erin Featherston. This will be Erin Featherston's 10th anniversary of her first runway show. The UC Berkeley graduate continued her studies in Paris for fashion design. Her vision for this year's New York Fashion Week was all about earthy elegance with the romantic feel. In an interview with Dubai Fashion TV, Featherston stated that what she looks back on the most is her appreciation of all the people who have seen this dream come true. Along with her New York Fashion Week's appearances, in 2009, she was inducted as a member of the CFDA. Featherston is not the only fashion designer bringing buzz to the Bay. Silicon Valley will be hosting their own fashion show soon. Ashman Ram has all the details. We'll send it back to her in the studio.
Thank you, Vanessa. And in Tech Talk today, we get an inside look at the upcoming 5th annual Tech Fashion Week. Also, what has Apple investors eagerly celebrating? And what's happening in the Nintendo world that has fans excited? Let's take a look. When Silicon Valley and San Francisco meet, Tech Fashion Week happens. Get ready to see fashion like you've never seen before. Designs are introduced through creativity, technology, and, of course, innovation. The digital age of fashion will premiere from February 25th to March 4th. Creators come together to explore digital infrastructure and the fashion landscape of the 21st century. Speaking of innovation, Apple investors are thrilled after reaching record closing sales for the iPhone 7. Could there be an iPhone 8 in the works? Investors are feeling optimistic. And Nintendo has certainly came a long way since Mario and Luigi. Tune in next week to learn about Nintendo Switch and if there is now a release date for eager fans. That's it for Tech Talk today. Abene and Anna, back to you.
That's going to do it for State of Events today.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week.